Okay, so I'm starting now. So this is maxillary first molar carving. Okay, so I'll just tell you the brief anatomy of maxillary first permanent molar. So this is maxillary first permanent molar model, right? So there are four cusps. There are four cusps, two on buccal and two on palatal. Okay, so two on buccal and two on palatal. I will be showing only the crown part of it. So two buccal and two palatal. So this is the mesial side. This is the mesial side, and so that is why these two cusps will be mesiopalatal and mesiobuccal, right? Mesiobuccal and mesiopalatal. Sorry, mesiopalatal is the largest and mesiobuccal. Okay, now so this will be distobuccal and distolingual. So these are the names of all four cusps: mesiopalatal, mesiobuccal, distobuccal, and distolingual. Okay, so this mesiopalatal cusp, which is the largest and the tallest, meets with two buccal cusps and form two ridges. This goes straight, so this is transverse ridge, and this goes diagonally opposite. Okay, so it is going diagonally opposite, so it is called as oblique ridge. Smallest cusp is called as distolingual cusp. This distolingual cusp, the triangular ridge is directed towards the central fossa. This is a central fossa of the crown, and inside there is a pitch. So this is central pit. So the smallest cusp is directed towards the central pit. Okay, and the shape of the crown is rhomboid. The shape of the crown is rhomboid. Rhomboid is kite shape. So two angles are acute and two angles are obtuse. Kathy, can you hear?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
So two angles are acute and two angles are obtuse. So this is how a rhomboid is made. So if you see, this is the oblique ridge. They are present. These oblique ridge connects two angles, but obtuse to obtuse. Can you see? This is obtuse to obtuse. So oblique ridge will run from obtuse to obtuse. Okay, and the remaining two cusps are placed on the acute angles. Okay, and the mesial ridge is comparatively, mesial marginal ridge is straight, and the distal marginal ridge is slightly rounded. The dimension of distal marginal ridge is little smaller than the mesial marginal ridge. And mesiopalatal cusp, which connects two buccal cusps, is the tallest cusp, and just next cusp to it is the smallest. Okay, so we'll start. I'll be showing only the crown. So the entire video is present on the YouTube. So first of all, I always divide the block. I'll be very quick. I'll just showing you only the gross carving. So divide. Now first step is make it rhomboid. So now you can see it is all square in shape. So what I'll do, I'll diagonally opposite corners, I'll make slightly obtuse. So what I'll do, I'll reduce little from here and little from here. Okay, so this angle will become obtuse. Is it very clear? Now this cusp and this cusp should be obtuse. So this one I will make it obtuse. This one diagonally opposite, like this and like this. So you can make out these two angles are obtuse and these two are acute. So my oblique ridge will run from this to this. Okay. So before starting, you have to identify all these angles. And now the Maxillary molars are elongated buccolingually. So this dimension is elongated. So what I'll do, I'll carve these two cusps, then I'll join here and then this cusp. Okay. So identify the elongated dimension. So suppose like this. So buccolingual I'll make like this. This will be B. So buccal. Opposite will be palatal. This will be mesial M, and this will be distal. Okay. So buccal. So this is buccal. This is buccal for B. Buccal. So I will carve two buccal cusps. Now you know how to carve the cusp. So what I'll do, this carving of a cusp, you know. Okay. The second cusp, so can you see this? Two buccal cusp I have carved. Now I have to carve a two palatal cusp. But so this is my obtuse to obtuse angle. So my oblique ridge will run from here to here. What I'll do to make a oblique ridge, the outer inclined plane of this cusp, which is placed at the obtuse angle, extend till the midline of the opposite side. Okay. So I will turn my block and I'll extend this till the midline, right? Very simple. Done. Now this entire quadrant, entire area, I will convert this into a big cusp. Okay. So little bit this wax also, this compartment I have also utilized. So this is how, this is my largest cusp. So outer inclined on this side, will merge here, and outer inclined of this buccal cusp will merge here. So can you see, this is my mesiopalatal cusp, this is a transverse ridge, and this is the oblique ridge connecting two obtuse angle. Now this is the smallest cusp. This one is the smallest cusp. So this will get directed towards the central pit. So this I will convert into a cusp and the oblique ridge. Can you see the oblique ridge is directed towards the central pit? And in between the inner inclined planes of both the buccal cusp, you need to clear. So with cotton, I'll clear. Can you see this? Palatal side. Yeah, like this. Now after this, carve the buccal incline planes. Now, so like how in premolar you have carved buccal ridge for all the cusps, similarly we will carve buccal ridge, cusp tip and slopes for every cusp. Now, one of the important cusp, fifth cusp, smallest cusp is attached on the palatal aspect of the mesiopalatal cusp. So the smallest cusp is called as cusp of Carabelli. Okay. So what I'll do to make this cusp, I will just reduce 2 mm wax from top of the cusp tip. So I'll just remove this 2 mm of wax. So it will appear as if this is attached. Okay. So this is my mesiopalatal cusp. First, I will carve the inclined plane. Like how in premolar we have done. This is very simple. This you know, you have already done. So you can see this. I have carved on palatal side 2 inclined planes. Turn, do for buckle also. Okay. You can make out, I have carved for buckle cusp also. Now define the cuspal slope and cuspal ridges. Polish it properly. Now carve the cervical constriction. So on buccal and palatal side like this, like how you do it in premolars, like this, like this. Then for proximal surfaces also. Okay. So this is my mesiopalatal cusp. This should be more obtuse. This oblique ridge should be more obtuse. So I'll round off little more this diagonally opposite angles. Okay. So it should be kite shape. So our crown should be twisted like this. So this also I'll make it more round. Now, can you make out my block is square and my crown is bit twisted? Little more I have defined. Now, the rhomboid shape is very clear now, you can make out. Now, can you see the rhomboid shape? Yes, you can appreciate the rhomboid shape. My block is square, but see the crown is twisted. This is my oblique ridge running from obtuse to obtuse angle. Now, on this cusp, this is the mesiopalatal cusp. This is the mesiopalatal cusp. Here on the palatal aspect, cusp of Carabelli should be present. So what I'll do from cusp tip, I'll reduce little, not much. Yes. So you can make out. See the cusp of Carabelli is attached. on the cusp tip. And this is how roughly the maxillary molar will look like. This is palatal aspect. This is palatal aspect. Buccal aspect. Both the buccal cusp are joining on mesiopalatal cusp. Okay. Now in second molar, maxillary second molar, the overall morphology is same, but cusp of Carabelli is not present and the crown is more twisted. That's it.